Hot take. If it's not on the calendar, it doesn't happen. And this is what helps release anxiety. Let's chat about discipline, devotion, and time management as you're going after your creative vision. Blisscipline, getting into the romantic joy of living the vision and what's required to show up for it. I live by my written planner and my digital calendar. For the daily priorities, I set 3 per day and I check in with this group of women. We're in a Prospera team. There's just 3 of us, and we check in and we say what our daily focuses are, and then also other tasks that we need to do. And so it holds us accountable. My Google Calendar is a way for my dreams and my visions to work themselves into reality. So I have Google Calendars connected with different email addresses for different areas of my life, like my Alarke music that has its own Google Calendar connected within a larger app that will feature all of the calendars. And then within that, I'll have sub calendars like studio time types of calendars. I've actually connected it to my studio log, which I'll put in the description below for anyone who's interested in checking out ways to work on artistic, especially musical projects and music videos. But you can adapt it for anything. It's a Notion template. And I've also connected my supremesound.life artist coaching platform calendar. I have my personal calendar, and my personal calendar, I have different sub calendars for just personal time, body, health, time off, which is the personal time, events, like going to see friends, and everything is color coded differently. And so this is because I can look at my calendar at a glance and get a sense of how I'm doing in the system. It's brain dumping everything that's going on that week or that month. And then from there, putting it into your calendar and or project management app that connects to a calendar. From here, you put down the non-negotiable things first. Like if you have a session with a client or a meeting or a health appointment, anything like that goes in the calendar, and then you work around those. Fill up the jar of time with the big rocks at the bottom of the things that are really important, and then the smaller rocks in the middle of like the pebbles of things that are important to do but can be a little bit more flexible about when you do them. And then like the little grains of sand are like these things here and there. And I even block off my free time, and I can just have a huge all day chunk off. But I know when I look at it, like, yeah, like I'm free to do anything during that time I want and be spontaneous within that free time. And I also block off my sleep. I don't have a sleep tracker, but it's a way for me to see how many hours of sleep I'm getting a day, more or less, stuff like that. And I would say I'm not rigid with this. So I move things around every day. It's inevitable that things will shift because life happens, and I'm not militaristic with it. It's not a way to punish myself or anything, but it's a way for me to grasp the most precious resource that we have, which is our time. By doing this, I get a lay of the land and I see how am I spending my time and how can I use it intentionally. So I love time management this way. I know there are other apps like Toggle and things like that, but this is what I do. I just do my Google Calendar. I can look at it when I'm out and about during my day. I just pull it up on my phone, all of that. So I swear by my calendar. I know that 10 years ago when I was living in New York and doing jazz manouche a lot, I had this bohemian artist life vision, and I didn't want to calendar my time, but I have found that it does bring me freedom from anxiety. So I think that is one of the biggest benefits of it. But here are examples of things where I find variety and I maintain my structure. So I love working out at 8 in the morning and then showing up to work at 10 a.m. but in the chair. And so I got a fitness membership. It's like a class pass type of deal where you can go to different fitness studios. And so this way I create variety for myself, but then I know how much time it takes. And then I even have an accountability partner to help me with my creative work, making music or videos at 10 a.m. And that creative partner does her writing at the same time. So I know that she's going to be there. And so I have to make sure that I'm going to be there, button chair, on time, ready to go. Something that helps me is romanticizing the process, because I don't want to grind. I don't want to hustle and be in bro culture, but I do want results. I'm results driven. And I think that as an artist, especially as a creative entrepreneur of any kind, results are what matters. So it's not about just clocking the time for clocking the time, because you could be spending your time doing the wrong things. And so this time tracking isn't just about hours being logged, it's about auditing what's working. So I have a habit tracking app called Streaks, and then I can actually, at the end of the month, I can export those. I pop them into a spreadsheet. I use those numbers as a way to check myself and see, am I slacking off anywhere? For example, right now I'm at this beautiful wildlife refuge and I'm definitely not on those habits. And that's great. I don't need to be on them all the time in every moment of my life. I'm taking a break right now. And that also fuels me to get back in the zone when I'm returning home to Mexico City. I have times for my marketing and my music and other work that I do, and time with clients and outreach, money making activities as well. And I count the amount of hours that I do that per month in the same spreadsheet. And I have goals where my vision at this moment is to do 10 hours of music per week minimum. 10 hours of marketing per week minimum. And so that'd be 40 hours a month. This is really helpful for me because I can see when there's an imbalance. And I've experimented with this in the past, especially when I got a new computer and I was learning how to edit videos in DaVinci Resolve. And it's a big learning curve. And one week I was like, screw it. I'm just going to dive in and like do this whole immersion. It wasn't even intentional. I was just like, I'm tired of being in these certain flows of rhythms and routines, and I just want to spend as much time as I can learning the software. And I let a lot of those habits go, and I could feel it. I could feel the anxiety come back in. I could feel myself get way off track. And so I think it's fine, and I'm not mad at it at all. And if I were upset, I would invite myself to be more compassionate with myself. But really, I just take it as okay, like I needed to break out of the rhythm for a little bit of time and explore this and then see how it felt and then come back into it. Because I don't think that there's any right way to do this, and there's no one way to the top of the mountain, but this is what works for me. It's saying, okay, am I showing up and doing what I say I want to do? And if I am, amazing. And if I'm not, which most times I'm off, I don't hit my goals, but it's my North Star, my compass. I look at, okay, why didn't I do it? Is it because my heart's not in it and I actually don't want to do it? Or something's really hard and I need help? Or I just am mismanaging my time, or I'm too scattered somewhere else, or I'm not giving it the focus that it needs? Do I need to let it go? And if so, fine. That's great news to have that awareness and make the change and the pivot. And I think the most important thing is taking action on making the pivots and changes when needed. And if not, if my heart still is in it, then what can I change? But I think having that data to look at it brings a lot of clarity. And so I love time tracking for that matter. Another thing is that it's proof of work. So if I'm ever feeling like I'm not showing up enough in the way that I want to, this is not about proving my work through productivity, but it's saying, okay, I am building the confidence to become a better artist through my music production, through performing, through singing, as an example, right? Or getting even more into creating videos. I can see these as breadcrumbs and trails of evidence to myself, because when the external feedback isn't there, like a video blows up or something like that, I can see, okay, I can see that I put in the time and I'm making the progress, and they equate by looking at the results, and then I'm putting in the time as well. But also, I do value internal validation, although I'm human and external validation does feel good and it's nice to have that. But when it's not there, definitely setting up the ways for me to check in on myself and see how I'm doing. These tiny habits, especially the Streaks habits, which is that app that I use, the daily habit tracking. These are the small, consistent actions, and they're not big overhauls. They're just small, slowly integrating into life. Looking at where my time is going versus where I think it's going is so helpful. It brings so much clarity. And then my confidence comes from that clarity. I heard this phrase from Marie Forleo that is, confidence comes from clarity and clarity comes from action. So if we're reverse engineering this, the action is showing up and putting things down in the calendar and tracking it. And the clarity is looking back and analyzing, okay, is this the result that I want? And how can I adjust to whatever my next step is? And then the confidence comes from that. Another concept that I love is mountains, hills, and ripples, different things to look forward to. So mountains for me, it would be like the mountaintop experiences, a big trip, something very exciting, a huge thing to look forward to. My hills, smaller things, maybe it's with seeing friends or going to a concert or going to a cool event. And ripples would be something every day to look forward to that could be small. So, an example of that right now is watching a show with my partner, like eating dinner together and also watching an episode of a show that we're into at the moment. That's a little thing for me to just relax, chill, and enjoy that as a reward. I'm Alarke, an artist, music producer, DJ, and artist coach. And if you got something out of this video, give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. It helps YouTube share this video with more people like you. And let me know in the comments, what is something mentioned in this video that you currently practice or you want to practice? I'd love to continue this conversation with you. I think it's so fascinating and interesting and fun to chat about. And next up, there's another video right here that goes well with this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.